Yo guys, it's your boy Arj back again with another Dragon Ball Super Broly movie news, update and spoiler video with even some theories added in, and today I've got an interesting one for you. As always, if you like entertaining, highly edited Dragon Ball videos daily, then please hit that subscribe button and click that like button. But what I'm going to be talking about today is the possibility that Broly's new form, the form that we see all the way back in the early trailers, the one where he has that yellow eye, which is by the way now explained to be called Ikari. I'm going to get into that. Whether that new form is something that can be attained by Goku and Vegeta in the near future of Dragon Ball. Now I'm going to go into exactly why and how that's possible, but let me just talk about Ikari first. So Ikari is otherwise known as the Wrathful state. It's an enraged state of Broly, and it has two stages. In the initial stage, Broly appears the same as he is in his base form, which is when he's fighting Vegeta in that base form, and you see Vegeta with this strange yellow aura while he's in base form. Now, that's still got some questions surrounding it, because literally that just reminds me of when he was fighting Frieza. I think I mentioned that as soon as I saw that as well. You know, when he was fighting Frieza and he was going into basically a full Super Saiyan form, or what he was basically pretending to be a Super Saiyan. That just brings back so many memories of that. It could be a callback. But the form that comes after is the one we see when he takes that punch from Super Saiyan God, and that is when his yellow eyes have emerged. Now those yellow eyes have been there since literally the start, since we got that first teaser of Broly versus Goku. Back then he was just known as this mysterious ancient Saiyan, which we didn't know who he was. But that yellow-eyed form is called Ikari, and what it is basically the usage of the Great Ape form in basic form. Now, some people even say and notice how his hair turns into a bit of like a Super Saiyan, but his hair is black, aka like a Super Saiyan black. But it is basically just the Oozaru form, which, as you know, grants a huge, unbelievable power boost. We don't actually know how powerful these apes are. All we know is that when Vegeta did it, originally Goku was pretty much left for dead until Vegeta's tail was cut off. In terms of how that is in real world terms, all we know is GT, when Goku turned into the golden ape and he was just bodying everything. So there is a power boost there for sure. We don't know the exact multiplier, but think about putting all of that power, that huge mass of power, that huge mass of animal, and bringing it down into base, and we are going to have a beast as we see in Broly. And it kind of makes sense that he's then on the same level as a Super Saiyan God. In fact, even beyond the Super Saiyan God, and even beyond Super Saiyan Blue, because he then keeps up with Goku in his new Super Saiyan Blue form, which, as I've mentioned in a previous video, is more than likely the mastered Super Saiyan Blue form seen in the manga. Now, you can go watch that video for all the proof relating to that, but it's basically an explanation as to why Kaioken Blue is no longer in the movie and why Evolution Blue is no longer in the movie either. But yeah, in terms of how Vegeta and Goku could get this, evidently this is just a form that can only be achieved by someone who has a tail. Now, Broly does have a tail, even though it's hidden behind this cloth, which, if you didn't know what this cloth is, guys, is actually like a bit of a memorable piece from an animal that he made friends with. I might make a video on this because I feel like no one's actually touched upon this, but yeah, Broly does make an animal friend on Planet Bumper. It's some sort of dog animal that has green fur, and at some point it dies, so then Broly then just basically wraps around his hide around him, and it's covering his tail. His tail is there, just hidden. So evidently you need a tail in order to reach this Ikari form. I know Goku and Vegeta don't have one, but who's to say they can't get one in the future once they learn that Broly has this form that's achieved only through having a tail. Now, in GT, if you remember, Goku got his tail regrown through the power of the Supreme Kai, the old Supreme Kai, and that guy that could turn into tweezers, and they pulled out his tail basically. And though GT is not canon in this timeline, we can see it's completely possible for the tail to be regrown, because really there's no reason why that shouldn't be the case. Gohan at multiple points was able to regrow his tail also. And in fact, even in the original Dragon Ball, Goku has been able to regrow his tail while in danger, fighting against someone called Giran, not Jiren, Giran, an animal similar to a dragon. He fought him, and when he was in danger, his tail grew back. Now, that's actually also mentioned within the Daizenshu, the official Dragon Ball Daizenshu, where it says that Saiyan tails are able to grow back when they are in danger spontaneously, and that is pretty much for the sole reason that the tail is where the true power of a Saiyan is. It's their trump card, it's their absolute potential sealed within that tail, because they become Oozaru, where all of their power is unleashed in a feral manner. Now, consider that that was originally thought to be for the Oozaru form, but now we have this idea that this Ikari form can take that same Oozaru power, massive power, and bring it all the way back into one's body for a multiplier that's almost, in fact, even higher than what Super Saiyan Blue is, apparently, according to Broly. Now, what does that mean for the future of the series? It kind of means that Dragon Ball Super now has a slight connection to the events of GT. Because as we know, in Super Saiyan 4 in GT, Goku in Super Saiyan 4 possessed yellow eyes. And also, he had black hair that was spiked up like a Super Saiyan, just like Broly in this Ikari form. Now, the design connection there is huge. It's completely relevant, and it is downplayed by a lot of people because they just don't want to accept that GT has anything to do with what's going on here and how it can never be any relevant. But I think it's pretty obvious that they've chosen this design choice for this specific reason, for it to have some connection, considering the fact that also to become a Super Saiyan 4, you needed to be an Oozaru first that came back down and compressed itself into one figure, aka the Super Saiyan 4. Now, I'm not saying Broly's in a Super Saiyan 4 form, but I'm just pointing out that incredible and compelling link between the two. Now, if we were to able to bring something similar to the Dragon Ball series, considering that both Goku and Vegeta attained this form in GT, it would make complete sense within Dragon Ball Super for them to try and attain this form that Broly has, because this is not a form that's specific to legendary Super Saiyans or specific to Broly himself. This is definitely a form that the other Saiyans can achieve, since every Saiyan can grow a tail and every Saiyan can become an Oozaru. Therefore, each one should be able to compress that Oozaru form into their singular body to get this Ikari form. As we can see from the multiplier with Broly, once he achieved this form, Super Saiyan God Vegeta was nothing for him, and then he kept up with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, even pretty much winning because Goku was beaten up while Broly had no scratches on him whatsoever. So this multiplier is huge. It could be on the same level as what Super Saiyan 4 was, and that would mean for Goku and Vegeta, yes, if they used the Ikari form, they would not be as strong as their Super Saiyan Blue counterparts. But what it does mean is that considering Super Saiyan 4 was basically known as the mastered Super Saiyan form according to Akira Toriyama, the final Super Saiyan form, the one where he basically said Super Saiyan 1, 2 and 3 were just shortcuts towards this final form, it could mean that when you achieve Super Saiyan Blue in Super, we know that it's basically just turning Super Saiyan while in Super Saiyan God. It's actually called Super Saiyan God. That's what the name of Super Saiyan Blue is. Now, if they were to achieve this Ikari form, which is the mastered Super Saiyan form, and they add this onto Super Saiyan God, another form which coincidentally has these red eyes with the black pupils, and they were to merge, they would then get an entirely new form, one which had the Super Saiyan God plus the mastered Super Saiyan form of Ikari added onto that, and they would reach a whole new level of power beyond what they've had so far, beyond Kaioken Blue, beyond Evolution Blue. It would be an entirely different entity and would be the next new form, quite possibly, for Dragon Ball Super. That's what I'm thinking right now. I think this Ikari form is definitely something important, and definitely something they're not going to just leave with Broly, considering Broly is now within the series. As you know, guys, everyone knows this by now, Broly survives and Broly becomes one of the Z-Fighters. Well, we know he will. He is on another planet and he's on good terms with Goku. So, Ikari, I believe, really is the key to the future transformations of Goku and Vegeta. It's going to be a nice form for them to have, and I'm pretty sure they're going to add in some sort of lore where they say, you know, this form conserves way more energy and consumes less stamina than a transformation like Super Saiyan Blue and so forth, because it is literally while they're in base, and then they basically unlock this power, which just brings an outside transformation like Oozaru into them to increase their power, rather than forcing a transformation within themselves to increase their power level. It's bringing in something that should be a part of their tails, should be part of their Saiyan heritage into them. Now obviously we need to think about neither Goku or Vegeta have tails, but like I said, they can grow them at any point when they're in danger, and that may happen in the future when they're in more danger than what happened with Jiren and what happened with Broly. It's possible, it's definitely possible. And when it also comes down to who would actually grow this tail, well, Goku may not grow this tail. He's already got his Ultra Instinct. He also has his family, and he probably doesn't like a tail. I think he's actually mentioned before, he doesn't necessarily like having a tail. While Vegeta is a Saiyan prince. He is proud of his heritage, he's proud of where he comes from, and he would definitely not be averse to then regrowing his tail, especially if it comes out randomly while he's in danger, and especially if we then give him a power boost that's on to the same level as what Goku now has. If it puts him above Goku, he will be well into that. He will definitely want that as another trump card he has over Goku that can allow him to potentially compete with Ultra Instinct, because we all know Goku at some point in the series, maybe not now, maybe not later, maybe right at the end of the series, but Goku will tap into Ultra Instinct again, and he will be the #1 fighter once more above Broly. And this is Vegeta's chance to then try and compete, because Broly has Ikari, but he hasn't got a Super Saiyan God form. But Vegeta is a Super Saiyan God, and if he can combine the two and grow a tail and become the true Saiyan Prince and the true new King of Saiyans, I'm pretty sure he will 100% go for this. Let me know what you think though about this theory. I think it's quite compelling. I mean, this isn't one of those theories where I normally have like loads of evidence and loads of all of that. This is definitely just something I've just thought about while I was in bed, and I think this is really quite interesting. But let me know what you think. How cool would it be for Ikari to now become a staple transformation for Goku and Vegeta, and one which could potentially make for a new Super Saiyan God transformation beyond Blue? Let me know down below, but please do not forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.